प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायम् उदीरे। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we are on the 6th chapter of the first canto, and from today we have to start from shloka number 26. So this is the dialogue between Narad Muni and Srila Vyasdev, wherein Vyasdev in the initial first or second, I think in the third, fourth shloka, Vyasdev asked Narad Muni, how is it that after going through so many births, means even when you were a child, son of a Dasi Putra, son of a maid servant, in the previous life of Brahma, and after that entire annihilation has happened, again the creation has happened, and after that now you are here like Narad Muni. How can you remember all those things? So for that question, Narad Muni is answering. So he tells Vyasdev how he was a small child of a maid servant. Then he was, after the death of his mother, how he wandered through the forest, and for a fraction of a second he could take darshan of the Lord, that too very blur. He couldn't even actually see the Lord. Yeah. And then he was desperate to see, so he tried again and again to see the Lord. He tried again and again to meditate, but then ultimately the Lord, he can hear the voice of the Lord, and the Lord says that this image is the only pious, what you can say, collection of yours, that you can only hear my voice in this birth. But after you leave this body, you will get a spiritual body. And when you get that spiritual body, you will, first of all, you will remember everything from your previous lives also. Plus, you will always be able to see me, come and visit me whenever you want. So he gets such a big boon. So then then the Lord in the previous shloka, let us see if we can go to the previous shloka. Yeah, text 25. There he's the yeah, so then Narad Muni here is telling Srila Vyasdev, then that authority personified by sound and unseen by eyes, but most wonderful, stop speaking. So the Lord tells him that you will be able to see me in your next life, and you will be able to come and visit me anytime you want. Okay. So after saying this, the Lord stops, and feeling a sense of gratitude, I offered my obeisances unto him, bowing my head. And then the Lord leaves from there. Then after that, what happens? That is what we are going to read from today. So let us see, let us read it from here. Please raise your hands for reading. No hands raised today. Nobody wants to read, huh? Archana Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Mataji.
Dandavad.
नामानि अनन्दस्य हदात्र वापदन् गुह्यानि भद्राणि कृतानि च स्मरन् घां पर्यदां स्तुष्टमनागदा स्पृहा कालं प्रदीक्षान् विमदो विमत्सरा. Translation.
Yes, 1 minute. Translation and purport also. Translation you read, Mataji. Purport maybe somebody else will read.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus I began chanting the holy name and fame of the Lord by repeated recitation, ignoring all the formalities of the material world. Such chanting and remembering of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are benedictory. So doing, I traveled all over the earth, fully satisfied, humble, and unenvious. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Next, maybe I'll just check. Sindhu Mataji, you can read the purport.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranams, Mataji.
Correct.
Purport, Shloka 26 by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
The life of a sincere devotee of the Lord is thus explained in a nutshell by Narad Muni by his personal example. Such a devotee, after his initiation by the Lord or his bona fide representative, takes very seriously chanting of the glories of the Lord and traveling all over the world so that others may also hear the glories of the Lord. Such devotees have no desire for material gain. They are conducted by one single desire to go back to Godhead. This awaits them in due course on quitting the material body because they have the due course on quitting the material body. Because they have the highest aim of life, going back to Godhead, they are never envious of anyone, nor are they proud of being eligible to go back to Godhead. Their only business is to chant and remember the holy name, fame, and pastimes of the Lord, and according to personal capacity, to distribute the message for others' welfare without motive of material gain. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So this shloka, particular shloka, and the next shloka, that is shloka number 27. These two are very important shlokas from the point of view of what is there for us, learning from these shlokas. Okay. Otherwise, many of the shlokas is just we feel like it is a story of Narad Muni. Is it not? How he went to the different stages, how he went to the forest, and so on. But these two shlokas are very prominent, very important shlokas where they tell us the characteristics of a pure devotee. And this shloka, particularly 26 shloka, it is telling us the process of how to take the names of Krishna. What should be your attitude while taking the names of Krishna? What should be your attitude when you are doing service to the Lord or when you are remembering the Lord? So this, what is that? Let us see in detail. So here what happens is, I'll just read the translation once again so that we can discuss about it. So thus I began chanting the holy name. So Narad Muni, after the Lord goes away from there, he's no more able to hear the Lord. Now he begins the chanting because now he is confirmed, the firm that this is the only correct process I have to follow, so that in the next life I will be able to see the Lord. So he starts chanting the holy names of the Lord, and by name and fame of the Lord, by repeated recitation. So again and again he's doing that, ignoring all the formalities of the material world. What is that? We will discuss a little bit. Such chanting and remembering of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So he's now again remembering also. He's doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, and we doing Smaranam also. Are benedictory. So doing, I traveled all over the earth, fully satisfied, humble, and unenvious. So together we will study the exact shloka also, as well as the characteristics of the devotees. So here initially we saw that Narad Muni, he got the association of the great devotees of the Lord, the Vedantists. They stayed for the 4 months in his house, in the house where his mother was a maid servant. So there we saw already in the last chapter that Narad Muni got the opportunity to serve the Vedantists. In return, he also got the opportunity to have their prasadam, their Mahaprasadam, and because of that, he got the process of devotional service into his heart. That shloka is there from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Rupa Goswami about devotional service. So there he says that, what is that? Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavane Jiva. Guru Krishna Prasada Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. So the bija, the seed of bhakti, is sown into the heart of a very fortunate piece. Kona bhagyavana jiva. Some fortunate jiva will get that seed of devotion, and that will get sown into the heart of that devotee by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So these Vedantis, they came to the house and they sowed the seed of bhakti in the heart of Narad Muni. And that is why after the death of his mother, he could go away from the house. He was not at all attached to the place where he was staying. He was not bewildered. He was not thinking now what to do. I am clueless. I don't know what to do. He remembered the lessons given by the Vedantist and he started walking towards the north. He went through so much difficulties. We have seen he went to dark forest, having so much wild animals are all around and all, but still he went on going. Why? And doing that, what he was doing, he was taking the names of the Lord. So he is saying, namani antasya hata trapa pathan. So namani anantasya. So what is the name? One of the name of the Lord is Ananta. What do you mean by Ananta? The Ananta, meaning of Ananta is one who has unlimited potencies, one who has unlimited leelas, one who had unlimited names, one who has unlimited characteristics. Ananta means what? Uncountable. So that is one of the name of the Lord, Ananta. Okay, that is also the name of Balramji also. So Namani Anantasya, he started taking the names of the Lord who is full of all the characteristics. And what he was doing? Hata Trapaha, being freed from all the formalities of the material world. Yeah, means he was not considering what is correct, what is wrong. He was not considering. See, when I came to bhakti, when I came to the path, or I accepted the path of devotional service. Initially, when I started chanting myself, that time I was very cautious when to chant, where to chant. Okay, I was more okay with chanting in the house, in sitting in one place and doing the chanting. But I was very reluctant to take my bead bag outside in the public place. If I'm traveling by, suppose, train, so in front of so many people, how can I take a bead bag? How can I hold something? People used to wonder, no, what is this bag, different bag, and this lady is putting one hand inside and doing what is it? So I used to, whether they were thinking of that, I don't know, but I used to think so, that everybody is watching me, everybody must be thinking what a weird person she is. Then what will this person say? What will that person say? Even when I was in between my family members, so I was afraid of them asking me questions. Okay, why are you doing this? And so I used to avoid chanting in front of anybody, avoiding chanting in front of at the other times of the day. Chanting means it has to be done only in the morning time. So I used to try to finish off everything in the morning when I am in my comfort zone in my house. So that means I was so much conscious about what is going on around me. But here, Narad Muni is not considering any of the things which is going around him. He is saying he is free from all the formalities of the material world. What anybody will say, what anybody will think, that this is such a small boy and he's taking the names of Krishna. What is your age? Why are you doing this? Nothing. He did not think anything. What he was doing? Pathan, by reciting repeatedly. Sorry. Yeah, he was completely taking the names of the Lord again and again. Guhyani Bhadrani. How are the names? That is very mysterious. And they are all benedictory. Bhadrani means what? Taking Krishna's name. Anything, anytime, anywhere, you take Krishna's name, it is always going to give you positive effect. It will never happen that you are in a wrong state of place. According to different, you are somewhere in an impure place. Suppose you are sitting in the toilet and chanting name of Krishna. It is going to give you a curse. It is going to give you some sin. You are going to incur some sin. This is never going to happen. Wherever you are, even if you are sitting beside a dead body, you can always take the names of Krishna, because it is Bhadrani. Everything will be beneficial. Everything will be positive when we are taking the names of Krishna. So he was taking the names of Krishna, also Kritani. He was also talking about and meditating upon the activities of Krishna. And like that, he was doing what? Bhadrani Kritani cha Smaran. This Smaran means what? He was also remembering. So he was chanting the names of Krishna. He was listening to the names of Krishna on his own, and in his mind, he was remembering Krishna. Whenever we are doing chanting, what is happening? Many times our chanting is totally mechanical. Can you please give me a minute? I need to drink little water here. Sorry. So whenever we are taking the names of Krishna, many times what we do is, it is the process of chanting is happening mechanically, right? So much mechanical that sometimes we finish 3-4 rounds and we don't come to know how I finished my 3-4 rounds. Sometimes it is so mechanical that for a long time we think, from such a long time I'm still on the first round only, because our mind is somewhere else. So not necessarily we are chanting the names, which means that we are thinking about Krishna. No, it happens if you are really very much conscious about the chanting process. If you are really putting your entire self into the chanting, then maybe you can remember Krishna, remember the Lord when you are chanting. But remembering Krishna every time, everywhere, it is very difficult. So, but here Narad Muni was remembering Krishna irrespective of where he is, irrespective of in which situation he is, irrespective of what is happening all around him. He was always remembering the Lord. Then they said, Gam Prayatnams. Gam Prayatnams means he was traveling all over the on the earth, right? So he was traveling, and while traveling, he was taking the names of the Lord. He was remembering all this, and doing this, he was tushtamana. Yeah, the next word is tushtamana. What does mean by tushtamana? He was completely satisfied with what he has. I am in this situation. I'm chanting the names of Lord. This is what is to be done. This is the correct process, and I'm very much satisfied with what I am doing. Right? Many times we start our chanting and we feel, oh, my reading for today is left. I have to still read. So hastily, we try to finish the chanting, not complete. We hastily try to finish our chanting and take the book of Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita which we are reading. Sometimes while reading, we think, oh, I did not hear the lecture today. So we will keep the book aside and start taking the book, listening to some of the lectures which we had decided to do here. So many times this confusion is always there in our mind. What process I have to do right now? If I'm cooking, I think my chanting is left. If I'm chanting, I feel my cooking is left. Something or the other, we are not in a stable state of mind. But here, Narad Muni was completely satisfied. He was very focused on what he was doing, traveling, chanting, and remembering Krishna. Gataspriha, the verse he says, Gataspriha means he was freed from all the material desires. He did not have any that, okay, in the next 2 days, I have to reach this and this place. Okay, in this first week, I have to chant in front of so many people. I have to make so many of the devotees. No, he did not have any of the material desires. He was only focused on chanting the names and fames and glories of the Lord. Kalam pratikshana. He was waiting for his death, because the Lord had already promised him, right? What had the Lord promised him? That after this birth, in the next birth, you will always remember me. You can see me anytime you want. This birth you could not see me, but next birth, not only once, not only twice, any number of times you want to see me, you will be able to see. So because of that, the hankering was there that I have to reach to that position where every time I can see the Lord. And this was the process by which he was making himself ready. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. He was following this process of devotional service to make himself ready to go to that stage where every now and then he can see the Lord. Whenever he wished, he could see the Lord. So he was waiting for his kala, means he was waiting for his death. So once his death, he knew that because once I leave this body, the next body, I am going to have complete darshan of the Lord. And that way, doing this, he was not having two qualities. Vimado Vimatsaraha. Vimado Vimatsaraha. Vimadaha means what? Not being proud. Vimatsara means what? Not being envious. So he was not proud of his own position, that see how great devotee I am. Now I am the person who could hear the Lord. Not everybody can hear the voice of the Lord. So he could have been very proud that at least I could hear the Lord. And he could have been very proud also that next birth I'm going to see the Lord. So he was not having any sort of pride, and he was not having any sort of enviousness about others. And that is how he completely was following it every day and night and waiting for this life to get completed. Or actually he was waiting for his death, traveling and preaching about the Lord and also remembering about the Lord. So now when I was hearing one of the lectures of Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, one very nice sentence he spoke in that lecture. That is about this pride and enviousness. So many times we are very much proud of what we have. Like, for example, I can be very proud of, I'm getting a chance to speak in front of somebody. Okay, if I'm proud. So for anything, pride about your knowledge, pride about your devotional services, pride about your material gains, what you have. Somebody might be very rich, somebody might be very famous, any of the qualities which you have. And if a person is very proud, then he finds he points out his other fingers to others, considering them to be envious. So if I am proud of myself, I will see all these people are envious about me. Because what? I am such a rich person. Because of I am such a beautiful person. Because of I am such a famous person. So if you are proud of any of your qualities, you find other people like they are envious of you. And if you are envious of other people, oh, I don't have this what she has. Then you find that they are so proud. Then I will think, oh, I don't have so much riches. I don't have such a nice car that she has. Since she is so boasting so much about her car. She might not be boasting also, but we will feel that she is having so much of pride about herself. So if we are having envy, we see pride in others. And if we are proud, we see envy in others. That is why fault finding in others starts with our bad qualities. That is why we should not have any of such bad qualities in ourselves. So this particular shloka gives us so many good qualities of a particular devotee. What are those? Yes, it is. He was actually taking the names of the Lord. He was chanting the names of the Lord. So a devotee should always chant the names of the Lord. Then he was smaranam. He was doing smaranam also. Then he was tushtamana. He was always satisfied. So devotee should always be in a satisfied state of mind. Then gataspriha. Gataspriha means he was completely detached from the material affairs. He was not having any material desires at all. Then vimado and vimbatsara. No pride and no envy. So these are so many qualities that one person should inculcate. Then only we can do some progress in the path of devotional service. That is what is the gist of this particular shloka. Okay, I hope this makes it a bit clear what this shloka means. Let us go to the next shloka. Uma Devi, you can read the shloka and the translation.
Yes, Mataji.
You can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat Mataji.
Evam Krishnamate Brahman na asaktasya amalatmanaha kala pradhurbhut kale tadit saudamini yatha. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And so, O Brahmana Vasadeva, in due course of time, I who was fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna and who therefore had no attachments, being completely freed from all material taints, met with death as lightning and illumination occur simultaneously. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, please read the
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji. Mataji, before that, Shanmuga Priya Mataji has raised her hand.
Okay.
We have not called her. Please call her to read, Mataji, please.
Okay, because I could not see her hand.
Mataji.
Okay, Shanmuga Mataji, if you are there, please read the purport. Prabhuji, you can read in this next shloka.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Pranams Mataji.
Krishna.
Purpose by divine direction. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Purpose by Sri Bhaktivedanta. To be fully absorbed in the thought of Sri Krishna means clearance of material dirt or hankering. As a very rich man has no hankerings for small petty things, so also a devotee of Lord Krishna who is guaranteed to pass on to the kingdom of God, where life is eternal, fully confident and blissful, naturally has no hankering for petty material things, which are like dolls or shadows of the reality and are without permanent value. That is the sign of spiritually enriched person. And in due course of time, when a pure devotee is completely prepared, all of a sudden the change of body occurs, which is commonly called death. And for the pure devotee, such a change takes place exactly like lightning and illumination follow simultaneously. That is to say, a devotee simultaneously changes his material body and develops a spiritual body by the will of the Supreme. Even before death, a pure devotee has no material affection due to his body being spiritualized like a red hot iron in contact with fire. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you so much, Mataji. So here, Narad Muni is telling, sorry, somebody is scribbling on the screen, is it? Please avoid doing that. Okay. Yeah, so, okay. So here again, Narad Muni is telling, I'll just stop the share and share it again so that this line, you also can see this line, is it?
Yes, Mataji, one line is visible.
Yes,
It is
Mataji.
I'll share it again so that line will not any more miss. Yeah. So here again, 2-3 more of the qualities of a pure devotee are given. One first is Krishna Mate hai. The first is Evam Krishna Mate Brahman. That means I was fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna. So a devotee of Krishna is always absorbed in thinking about Krishna. Who was such a devotee? Can you give
Ambarish Maharaj. Mataji.
Ambarish Maharaj? Yes, in every of his activity, he was thinking about. Who else? So many examples. Always.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes, he was always thinking, even when they were torturing him, he was continuously thinking of the Lord only, absorbed in Lord Krishna. Again, who else? In
Srila Prabhupada.
this Kali Yuga?
Srila Prabhupada.
Mataji, Namacharya, Haridas Thakur.
Yes, Namacharya Rishla Haridas Thakur also, he was always absorbed in thinking about Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada, yes, the latest example of Pitas is our beloved Srila Prabhupada also. So a pure devotee is always fully absorbed in thinking about Krishna. So whatever topic comes in front of him, he will always divert that topic to Krishna Katha. Practically, I have seen this in our temple itself. When I was very new in this Bangalore temple, I don't see that devotee now because maybe Prabhuji has shifted somewhere or that, I don't know. But what I used to admire about that Prabhuji is that he, during the Prasadam time, he used to sit somewhere and somebody used to come and talk to him. And I have seen him always talking about Krishna Katha. So even if somebody comes and tries to talk up any mundane topic, like even about a weather, which is raining so much today, he will immediately divert it to Krishna. It's all Krishna's mercy. Krishna wants so much rain to happen in Bangalore, so it's due to Krishna. And see, because of Krishna only, now we don't have any problems of water in Bangalore. So any topic you take to him, he will convert it to Krishna Katha. So that is the symptom of a pure devotee. He is always ready and willing to talk about Krishna. The second is given characteristic is asakta. He is not attached to anybody. See, loving somebody or loving the family members and getting attached to the family members is two different things. So when you love your family member, you are willing to do good for them. But when you are attached to the family members, it becomes difficult for you to leave the body when it is the time of death. Or that attachment becomes the hurdle in your progress of your spiritual life. So you should be caring for your, maybe your friends, families, relatives, but you should not be attached to them. You should have the affection, but you should not have the attachment to anybody. So the first is Krishna Mater is always speaking about Krishna. Asakta is not attached to anything. And Amala Atmanaha. Amala Atmanaha means what? One who is completely free from all material dirt. No contamination at all. His thoughts are pure. His vision is pure. Who was like that? His speech is pure. Very best example is Shukdev Goswami. Yeah, we have seen that past time where Shukdev Goswami is also passing through a lake, and Vyasdeva is also running behind him saying, "Oh my son, oh my son." And some of the ladies are taking bath in the lake, and they are inside the lake. And when Shukdev Goswami passes from there, they did not, they were not concerned. Okay, he's going, let him go. But as soon as Vyasdev came nearer, they covered their bodies. And when Vyasdev asked them, "Why did you do that?" They told his vision is pure. He is not distinguishing with that I am a lady and he is a man. He's seeing everybody as a soul only. His vision is so much pure. Is it not? So like that, the pure devotee, he's Amala Atmanha. He's not having any sort of material contamination within his thoughts, within his actions, within his karma, within his deeds, anything where whatever he is doing, there is no contamination. So these things make that devotee a very pure devotee. That is the situation of, that is the character. These all characteristics were present in Narad Muni also. And here, Srila Prabhupada is giving the example of a rich person. So how is a very pure devotee? A pure devotee is like a very rich man. When there you see a very rich man, if his 2 rupees or 1 rupee dollar falls off from his pocket, he's not at all concerned. Okay, gir gaya hoga, huh? It must have fallen somewhere. He's not concerned for small things because he is very rich already. No? So if one coin is dropped off and he doesn't know where it has gone, he's not going to search all over the road for that particular 1 rupee coin. If there is a very poor man and if 1 rupee coin falls down from his hand, naturally he will search and search and search for that 1 rupee. But a very rich man, he doesn't care about that. So pure devotees are like that. Whatever small thing happens in their material life, they are not at all concerned about that. They think, okay, this is all Krishna's plan. This thing had to happen in my life. They are happening. I'm not concerned. What let me do is, let me think about Krishna. Let me serve Krishna. Let me remember Krishna. That is the situation of a pure devotee. And for such a pure devotee, Prabhupada says that, and for the pure devotees, such a change takes place. In the due course of time, when a pure devotee is completely prepared, all of a sudden the change of body occurs, which is commonly called as death. Here, Narad Muni is telling, no, I met with death just as lightning and illumination occur simultaneously. So for such pure devotees, see, when death occurs for a normal person, very normal, who is not a devotee or a very initial sadhaka or intermediate sadhaka or a Nastic person who doesn't believe in God, for all of them, when death comes, there in a fraction of a second, your entire life runs in front of your eyes. You remember everything. Right now, I may not remember many incidents which have been happened in my childhood or in my youth. Even in my past month also, I may not remember so many things. But every minute detail we remember at the time of death. Everything, what I did wrong, what I did good. And all these wrong deeds, this trigger our mind. Oh, so much wrong I did. Oh, so much lies I told. Oh, so much I hurt people. Oh, I did this wrong. Oh, I did that wrong. And we start regretting at the time of death. Why did I do this? Yeah. And that death to that person is a very painful death. Very painful death. But for a person who is a fully pure devotee of the Lord, This death occurs like in a fraction of a second. He doesn't have to go through all the things which are bad deeds, good deeds he has done in his life. Just like a lightning, when we see the lightning happens, immediately there is illumination, right? So very bright light is also there, and the means lightning happens followed by immediate illumination. That full light is there. In the life of the pure devotee also, the death comes in the same way. As soon as that person leaves the body, immediately he gets enlightened. Means what? Immediately he gets a spiritual body. So he doesn't have to go through the punishment of that life. He will not have any punishment in the life left out, because he has already purified himself. That is why he has become the pure devotee. Is it not? So immediately after the death, he will see all bright out. His body will be illuminated completely. That means he has already received a spiritual body. So he doesn't have to worry about what deeds he has done in his life, right? That is what happens at the time of death. That also that Narad Muni could experience at the time of death, that suddenly, as if lightning is followed by light, bright illumination. Similarly, I left my body and immediately I got a spiritual body. Yeah. Also, one more important statement Prabhupada writes over here, the last statement. Even before death, a pure devotee has no material affection due to his body being spiritualized like a red hot iron in the contact of fire. So this state a pure devotee can experience even before death. That my body, my consciousness, it has transformed. I used to have so much hankering. I used to have so much of distress. I used to have so much of bad thoughts. I used to worry about so many things. But now I have changed so much that I don't feel any pain. I don't feel any regrets. I don't feel any bad things around me. What I feel is only bliss, happiness, and love for Krishna. So when a sadhaka devotee gets converted to a pure devotee, he doesn't have to wait till his death. He can see all these symptoms even before death. Even before death, he is observing, he is experiencing that blissfulness which he is going to get after leaving the body. Okay, so that is the beauty of pure devotional service, and that is why we should always hanker for transforming ourselves to that stage. And what is the process? The process is the Navvidha Bhakti. Shravanam, Vishnu, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Yeah, so these stages tell us how to progress and go towards the level of pure devotional service. And we should strive to do that. Okay, let us go to the next shloka.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, can I ask you a question related to this?
Okay, Mataji, if it is a short and quick question.
Yeah, very short. Suppose a person who has become a pure devotee now, he had done a lot of sins in his earlier, that is before he came to this stage.
Yes.
Then also he will not, he won't he suffer the consequences of those things?
He will not suffer, because if he has turned to be a pure devotee. Why, Mataji? Because he has already done the atonement for that. What is an atonement? Prayashchitta. Our prayashchitta, if it is like bathing of an elephant, you have heard that example? If our prayashchitta is bathing of an elephant, that you are doing prayashchitta and again coming and doing the same, the elephant does what? He gets dirty in the mud, he goes to the water, takes a bath, comes out and again puts dirt on his body. So what is the use of such bath? So that is our situation. What we are doing, we do some wrong thing, we do some prayashchitta, okay, I'm very sorry, I will not do it again, this, that, and later we again repeat the mistakes, right? And what is told by Srila Prabhupada, and even in our scriptures, it is told that the best prayashchitta is taking Krishna's name. If you are chanting Krishna's name, that is the prayashchitta you're doing. And provided you are not repeating the mistakes. You're taking Krishna's name and you're doing the same offenses, then that taking of Krishna's name does not count at all. But the person has already reached the stage of pure devotional service. Pure bhakta ho gaya na? He's a pure devotee now. What do I mean by pure devotee? That means he is not again and again doing those mistakes. He has already done the prayashchitta for them. He has already taken Krishna's name so many times that all his sins are already eradicated. They are gone.
Yeah, he's a changed person.
He's a changed person now. So he's not repeating those mistakes at all. That means he has finished all those bad going through those bad karma, right? Because he has already done the bad.
Yeah, understood, Mataji. Thank you so
That is
much.
why he will not have. He will also feel the same bliss. Okay. Let us go
Yes,
to the
Mataji.
now. Okay, Krishnamurti Prabhuji, you can read the shloka as well as translation. We need one more person to read the purport.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Hare Krishna.
read the purport later. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji.
And
प्रयुज्यमाने मयितां शुद्धां भागवतीं तनुम् आरब्धकर्मनिर्वाणो न्यपतत् पाञ्चभौतिकः. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada की जय. Having been awarded a transcendental body befitting an associate of the personality of Godhead, I quit the body made of 5 material elements, and thus all acquired fruitive results of work, karma, stopped. Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
So this is the same what Mataji were asking. All the acquired fruitive results of karma stopped. Yeah, whatever reaction of the fruitive works should have come. They will not come because he has surpassed that stage. Okay, yes, purport, please read.
May I read?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, somebody had raised the hand, I told, no? Who is
May I
that?
read?
Mataji. I had
Shall I
raised
read?
the hand.
Okay, Dhanashri Mataji, I told, I think, no? Dhanashri Mataji, you can read.
Ji Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
This I have actually highlighted. It comes in the statement only. Right? This, namely, this you have to read what is there in the white box. I just wanted to highlight it, so I've just marked it differently. That's it. Please read, Mataji.
Acha, I have to read only that marked sentence only.
Everything you have to.
Acha. Hare Krishna, purport by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Informed by the personality of Godhead that he would be awarded a transcendental body befitting the Lord's association. Narada got his spiritual body as soon as he quitted his material body. This transcendental body is free from material affinity and invested with 3 primary transcendental qualities, namely eternity, freedom from material modes, and freedom from reactions of routine activities. The material body is always afflicted with the lack of these 3 qualities. A devotee's body becomes at once surcharged with the transcendental qualities as soon as he is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. It acts like the magnetic influence of a touchstone upon iron. The influence of transcendental devotional service is like that. Therefore, change of the body means stoppage of the reaction of 3 qualitative modes of material nature upon the pure devotee. There are many instances of this in the revealed scriptures. Dhruva Maharaja and Prahlad Maharaja and many other devotees were able to see the personality of Godhead face to face apparently in the same body. This means that the quality of a devotee's body changes from material to transcendence. That is the opinion of the authorized Goswamis via the authentic scriptures. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that beginning from the Indragopa, jump up to the great Indra, king of heaven, all living beings are subjected to the law of karma and are bound to suffer and enjoy the fruitive results of their own work. Only the devotee is exempt from such reactions by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Authority, the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. So here in this shloka, Narad Muni is telling that once he got this transcendental body, which was according to the Lord's wish, so that he could go and see the Lord anytime he wanted and so on, he quit his old body and he quit that old body which was made up of our 5 gross materials, right? Pancha Mahabhuto se body banta hai. So it was made of the Pancha Mahabhuta. He left that body and he acquired the completely transcendental spiritual body. And such transcendental spiritual body, Prabhupada is explaining, has 3 very good qualities. This transcendental spiritual body is eternal. It will never perish. That is why birth after birth, yugas after yugas, annihilation, again the making of the 3 worlds, again the annihilation, creation, annihilation, creation. That went on, but Narad Muni still had the same body, still had the same memory. He was having everything transcendental. because he had become the pure devotee of the Lord. So that is the first, the body becomes eternal. Freedom from material modes. He was not having envy of it, sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna. He was out of all this. He was in the completely shuddha sattva guna. And freedom from the reactions of fruitive activities, because at all those activities are not done only by that devotee, which will give him some reaction. All the activities done itself are so much pure that the reactions of those activities are not to be seen. But these things, Prabhupada says, they are not found in the material body. But as long as this material body is not connected with the Lord, these qualities will not be seen. As soon as a person starts becoming a devotee, so what happens? He becomes surcharged with the transcendental qualities. Now these qualities start manifesting in the devotee slowly. Slowly we feel that, okay, I have become more stable. I have become more calm. I don't react to the situations very easily. Right? I feel that I am going towards sattva guna. Naturally, not with ego, but the devotee can be, or you can see the qualities in other devotees also, that when you see come in association with a particular devotee, you feel surcharged with good vibes. Yeah, we feel, oh, I always love to be with this devotee. That devotee is very pure. I can feel the vibrations from him. So these qualities start manifesting in the devotees as soon as they start performing the devotional activities. They start performing bhakti. And when the Krishna sees that the devotee is taking efforts, to change, he's taking one step towards Krishna, Krishna starts roasting the seeds of karma of that devotee. What happens if the seeds are roasted? It will not sprout, is it not? If a roasted bean is, sown into the soil, it will not give rise to a plant. Correct? So that's where our karma beads are roasted by the Lord. And what happens if our karma is roasted? Bhakti bhajam. What is that Brahma Samhita shloka? Does anybody remember? From the smallest Indra Gopa Kida, worm, to Indra. Sorry? Yes, Mataji, you do remember? Prabhupada is quoting in the Brahma Samhita, it is said that beginning from Indra Gopa germ up to great Indra, king of heaven, all living beings are subjected to laws of karma. Is it not? Even when Indra is doing something wrong, he is sent to earth. You are not fit to have the throne of Indra. You have to go and take birth like this and that. Okay? And are bound to suffer and enjoy the fruitive results of their own work. Only the devotee is exempt from such reactions by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Authority, the personality of Godhead. So only the devotees don't have to go through the reactory process of the this thing. So can you see this? Is this visible, Brahma Samhita shloka?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. Yes,
Yes,
Indra Gopa Matavendra Mahospa
Yes,
Karma.
Mataji.
बन्धानुरूप फलभाग्यप्राप्नोति कर्माणि निर्दहति किञ्च भक्तिभाजं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषम्.
Yeah, somebody who has raised the hand can read the translation of this. I think.
Mataji, you have to call Sudha V and then Kusumalata Mataji next.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. I'm not able to, they keep track of who has raised the hand previously. Yeah. Sudha Mataji, please read the translation.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda who burns up to their roots all fruitive activities of those who are imbued with devotion and impartially ordains for each the due enjoyment of the fruits of one's activities, of all those who walk in the path of work in accordance with the chain of their previously performed works, no less in the case of the tiny insect that bears the name of Indragopa than in that of Indra, the king of Devas.
Yeah, so
Hare Krishna,
in
Mataji.
short,
Thank
we'll
you.
not go to the detailed description of this shloka, but in short, it is said in this Brahmaji is saying that the Lord burns the roots of all fruitive activities of the devotees. Otherwise, if you are not performing devotional service, whether you are the smallest Indragrupa germ or you are the king of the heaven, Indra, you have to go through the reactions of your karmas. So that is same here. So Narad Muni is now having the spiritual body. He is free from all these things. He is free from, he is having all the good qualities of the pure devotee. He is now free from the material modes. He is now free from the reactions of his activities because Lord will take care of it. And that is how he now was having the spiritual body with which he was able to meet the Lord, see the Lord every time, whenever he required. Let us go to the next shloka. The next two shlokas are telling us about how he, even after the Brahma's life is over, annihilation happens and again creation happens, he still remembers that. Yes.
Mataji, Kusumalata Mataji, and then Divya Desaji Mataji, you can call.
Sumlata Mataji, you can read the shloka and translation. Divya Mataji, you can read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Shloka Kalpant idumadaye shayani abhyudastavantah shishvishornu pranam vivishentarah vibho.
Okay.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. At the end of the millennium, when the personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, lay down within the water of the devastation, Brahma began to enter into him along with all creative elements, and I also entered through his breathing.
So annihilation is happening. After the Brahma's life is over, annihilation is happening. Yes. Mataji, please read. Divya Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Narada is known as the son of Brahma, as Lord Krishna is known as the son of Vasudeva. The personality of Godhead and his liberated devotees like Narada appear in the material world by the same process. As it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, the birth and activities of the Lord are all transcendental. Therefore, according to authorized opinion, the birth of Narada as the son of Brahma is also transcendental pastime. His appearance and disappearance are practically on the same level as that of the Lord. The Lord and his devotees are therefore simultaneously one and different as spiritual entities. They belong to the same category of transcendence. Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Thank you much, Mataji. So nothing much to be explained here. Just as the Lord, he appears in this world with a transcendental body. Lord's body, in any avatara, his body is transcendental only. Okay, he takes birth for a different cause. The devotee takes birth for a simple cause. What is the purpose of the Lord coming to this material world?
Paritranaya
Mataji,
sadhunam
protect the
vinashaya
devotee,
protect
pradipradam
the devotees,
dharma
annihilate the demons,
samsthavinasaya
to establish the
sambhavami
and to establish dharma
religious
Thank
principles.
you.
loving exchange with the
Paritranaya
devotee.
sadhunam. Yes, Mataji was telling it right. So to protect the pious, to kill the demons, and to again re-establish dharma. This is the only purpose for any of his avataras, right? In every avatara, one of these things at least is happening. He's killing some demon, he's protecting the devotees, he's telling what is good and what is bad, he's again telling the dharma, about teaching dharma to different people and so on. But what is the purpose of this pure devotee coming again and again? Narad Muni is not killing any demons. Narad Muni is not protecting he protects the devotees in different ways. But what is the ultimate cause of Narad Muni coming here? In every
Mercy,
millennium
Mataji.
coming back.
Mercy and to
To
give
spread the
Krishna prema.
devotional service to the Lord, to the common people.
The name, fame, glories of the Lord, to make more and more people aware of the Lord, to make more and more people devotees of the Lord. That is the only intention of any devotee of the Lord, to be anywhere in the material world. Yeah, so that for that purpose, with his transcendental body, Narad Muni is also coming again and again. Even after annihilation, he again comes during the next creation. How? That is told in this next shloka. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
And when Jigisha Sharma, I think she has raised her hand, and then Anuradha Mataji. They can take lead.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Jigisha Mataji, please read the shloka and translation. Anuradha Mataji, you can read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji. सहस्रयुगपर्यन्ते उत्थानेदं सुशुशब्द मरीचिनुश्राश्रय ऋषयः प्राणे भूवहं च जगीरे. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. After 430 crore solar years, when Brahma awoke to create again by the will of the Lord, all the rishis like Marichi, Angira, Atri, and so on were created from the transcendental body of the Lord, and I also appeared along with them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Please read, Mataji.
Okay, ma'am. Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The duration of a day in the life of Brahma is 432 crore solar years. This is stated also in the Bhagavad Gita. So, for this period, Brahmaji rests in Yoga Nidra within the body of the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, the generator of Brahma. Thus, after the sleeping period of Brahma, when there is again creation by the will of the Lord through the agency of Brahma, all the great rishis again appear from different parts of the transcendental body, and Narada also appears. This means that Narada appears in the same transcendental body, just as a man awakes from sleep in the same body. Sri Narada is eternally free to move in all parts of the transcendental and material creations of the Almighty. He appears and disappears in his own transcendental body, which is without distinction of body and soul, unlike conditioned beings.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is explaining how this annihilation happens. So the annihilations are again of three types for us. Yes, who can tell the three types of annihilation for us?
Atyantika, Naimitika.
Okay, can you explain a bit, Mataji? Means what does that mean? What is the smallest annihilation and recreation happens for us?
Naimitika Palayam.
Okay, rather than these words, can you explain when it happens? Somebody can tell how it happens. The first annihilation, destruction happens at our death. Is it not? Once we die, at the time of death, yes, our body is destroyed. The soul takes the next body, that is creation again. That is one type of, one circle of annihilation and creation. Correct? Second is at the end of the day of Brahma, which Prabhupada is explaining in the purport also. In that, at the time of there is this 4,030,000,000 years, solar years of one day of Brahma. After that day, that much night is there. So at that night, there is no creation, no people or no entity, living entities are they're alive there. Everything goes back. And Brahmaji is resting now for that much period of time in the body of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, right? And once his night is over, he again wakes up, again does the creation, smaller creation of that within that particular universe. So he is sleeping within that universe only. He is taking birth. He's again waking up and again creating in that particular universe only. That is the second type of creation. And the third one is the biggest creation when at the end of the life of Brahma. When Brahma, after his 100 years are over, the biggest annihilation happens. Where? Who is doing that?
Karanodakshaya Vishnu.
Mahavishnu, you can say. At that time, he is taking everything within his body, through all the pores, everything goes back into his body. And when he wants to again do the creation, everything comes out of his body again. So during all these annihilation and creation, Narad Muni stays as his own, he has his own spiritual body, and he again comes with, and he has the memory of all those things which have happened over there. Okay, so here we stop today. For today, this much is what we could do. Any questions related to these shlokas or any suggestions, any discussions? We are free for 5 minutes.
Masaji, Hare Krishna. The third annihilation, can you explain again just once, please?
Yeah, at the end of the life of Brahma.
Okay.
At every night of Brahma, one annihilation happens.
Okay, okay.
And his new day starts, again creation is done. But at the end of his life, after his 100 years are over, bigger annihilation happens. It is done by Mahavishnu when all the Brahmandas, all the universes are taken back. And again, new universes are created like that. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, if there are no questions, we'll stop. Yeah, thank you so much. Vancha
Mataji.
kalpataru kripa sindhubhyo vacha patanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnava
की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, उपस्थित गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
की जय। Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
Hare
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Mataji, I had one question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry, I just came in. Mataji, as you said, any annihilation happens at the when Brahmaji is sleeping time. Then again, he wakes up. Then again, the creation does. My question is, why does this happen also? Because God has given this option, right? Why you should get a birth and then, but why he has given this thing? Because I have a question. Like when God wants us to come to Him, why did He allow us to go there?
Where?
That is my
The material world.
in the material world. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is relating to the topic.
Correct only, Prabhuji. Correct only. Because we had the desire to stay away from Krishna. We wanted to leave him, right? That is why we came. He had to create this material world for us. Because simple reason is all of us, we were staying in Goloka with Krishna very happily. Right? But like the rebellious children, once nowadays the kids grow, they become 17, 18 also, they'll say, I don't want to stay with you now. Okay, even if you are staying in a big city, they want to stay away from the parents into some hostel near their college. They just want their own freedom. I don't want every day you are telling, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. They don't want to hear. They just want to go away from the parents, have a peaceful life of their own. Right? Like that, we also became rebellious. We told, how many times I have to listen to Krishna? I always do the things what pleases Krishna. When I will do what I want. When this smallest desire, one spark of desire came in our mind, Krishna gave us the opportunity. Okay, you go, stay for some time. Yeah, when you will feel that this material world is a disaster, it is not a place for me to stay, you come back, my doors are always open for you. Like the parents tell, okay, you go stay there. Yeah, one of a very dear devotee's son, I will not take the name. Yeah, he also did the same thing. So he was working, he had started working. So he went to his own apartment. And for 2 days he stayed there, but then he was not able to manage. So he had kept that apartment for many days, but he was staying with the parents again because he was not able to manage. And ultimately he gave up that apartment after some few months. So this happens with the kids. They try to become rebellious, but once they see the outside world, how unmanageable that is, they come back. Similarly, when we will come to know that this world is dukkhalayam or shashvatam, the Lord gives us the opportunity to go back. And that opportunity happens after annihilation. So if we are a very pure devotee, at the end of this life, just as Narad happened with Narad Muni, the shortest annihilation of his own body, immediately he got the chance to go to the Lord. Otherwise, after this particular smaller annihilation, at that time, the jivas are given a chance to, go and they will suffer their dealings, what wrong they have done, and they will be given a better chance in the next creation. That also happens during this smaller creations. And the biggest creation, when that is happening automatically, when the Lord breathes in, he takes in all the universes. When he breathes out, all the universes are recreated. Yeah, just as we are breathing in and out air. It happens naturally. That is by the will of Lord. Naturally, it is not having automatically as such, by the will of Lord only. But that is the process that is happening. Does this answer
this question? My question was like, why has God given us this option? Now that He has given us the option that you go down and you live your life.
Okay.
When we have come down, now why is He asking us to come back again?
No, He's not asking.
Or
but he wants you to realize, no? Because we are His children. He loves us so much.
Okay.
Any parent whose son has gone out, he will naturally desire that his children comes back to him. And he will sense, it's a very good example. So that this person whose son or daughter has gone away from the house, that person will send his different friends, just jaake dekh lo, how is he doing? Is he good or not? Somehow or the other, you tell, oh, your father was talking about you. Make him remember about me so that he feels he will miss me and he will come back to my house. So any parent will want that to happen, that their children have gone away. They want their children to come back. It's a natural affection of the parents also. So the Lord loves us so much. He wants us to go back to his place. That is the only simple answer for that.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Guruji.
Mataji, in Shloka 28,
You want me to show it to you again?
Mataji, please, Mataji.
Okay. Okay.
In purport, Mataji, purport. Yes, we have highlighted that, Mataji. You have highlighted that.
Okay. Yeah.
The eternity, freedom from material modes, and freedom from reactions of rotative activities. This was happened to Narada Maharshi.
Yeah.
Whereas the ordinary people fate, is it applies to them also?
No, the material body is always afflicted with the lack of these three qualities. The next statement, see, Babuji here.
Okay.
Any normal people, these three qualities are always lacking. We are always under the modes of material nature. है ना? कभी हम सत्व गुना में, कभी रजोगुना, कभी तमोगुना. We are always under the influence of some or the other mode. Sometimes we are very active, sometimes we are very lazy, sometimes we are very religious, very humble. And this comes from changing, because Maya Devi is pulling the strings. You have seen the photo in the Bhagavad Gita, right? So we are always under the influence of material modes. It's not easy to get out those modes.
To attain all these characters, we have to struggle a lot.
We have to do bhakti.
Okay.
We have to try to inculcate all those qualities which we discussed today.
Yes,
yeah,
Mother.
non-enviousness, no pride.
Yes.
Always thinking of the Lord. Yeah, and so many qualities we discuss. We have to cultivate those habits in ourselves, and slowly these qualities will manifest.
Mother. Hare Krishna, Mother. Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Also that there is no suffering in the spiritual world. So suffering is only in this material world.
Correct.
So as we are, in the material world, birth after life, suffering and dukkha and sukha both are there. And then eventually dukkha is only there in this place. And the material world is actually an illusion. The real world is our original home, God's abode, right?
Yes.
Correct. So we have to return back to God.
We have to return back over there. Yes.
Yeah, that's our original place. That is our original.
Like, the parents take their child to the seashore. Yeah, and on the seashore, the child builds a home on the sand. How much time will that child play with that sand castle? He can play for some time. Later, he will have to return back to his parents. Yeah, means he will be tired of playing with that sand castle and he will want to go to the parents. It seems like that this is the material world, is the sand castle made by the Lord for us. So we are playing in that sand castle. Only thing is that this time of play is very long for us. Yeah, 100 years for human beings. But ultimately, when we will realize that no, this is the wrong place, I'm struggling to get out of this wrong place, then only we will strive to go out of that and go to our real parents.
And as we are progressing in the spiritual path also, I think the difficulties and challenges will become more and more, and it will become more intense as you become more advanced. That's like a test for us to withstand the difficult times, and not give up.
Okay, right? I cannot put it in that way. See, difficulties and problems will be there. In fact, when you are progressing in the spiritual life, your vision of looking towards the problems changes, and therefore the severity of the problem is less.
Mataji, but they also say, no, Mataji, few devotees, they don't want to go at all to the spiritual world. I mean, they just want to be here in this material world and serve the Lord.
Why they want to be in this
world? It depends on our three gunas also, no, Mataji?
Okay, just 1 minute. Can I just stop this YouTube because it will be very long? I can just discuss a few.